Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their mind cannot change anything. Hi, my name is David GOH, and I'm back in the studio here. I'm so excited. This morning I woke up and I knew that there's going to be a message for all of you here. Now, the message is about change. I'm going to take you back 4 months from now. Yeah, you remember 4 months ago? Now, this is what happened. 4 months ago, we made resolutions. This is 2019, December 31st. What kind of resolution? Well, we wanted to have a better life. We want to accomplish more dreams. We want to have more things being done for our companies. You want to expand your company. There were all kinds of plans. But what happened? Well, coronavirus came in on 18 March. There was a lockdown. And since then, everything all changes. Since then, the changes took place. The question over here is that, are you going to let that change your whole perceptions of the world that you live in now, or are you going to reshape your world by changing the way you look at the world now? I want to share with you a story about this young pigeon called Pisces, little bird. In the marketplace, the old master went over there, bought this bird, and brought it back together and left it together with the rest of the other pigeons, hundreds of them. Old master is a collector. He reared all these pigeons. He's got a pigeonhole now put on a rack. He built it. Every day he will be throwing these corns and cereals upon that all the other birds. And all the other pigeons will dive and try to scramble for the food. Now, whenever this young, inadequate Pisces went over, they would shove him aside, they would push and flap its wing, and by the time when Pisces got to the food, it's all over. You only got the leftover. Pisces always feels so small and so insignificant because, he was just an adopted one. And one night when Pisces was standing by the rack alone, the old master came and said, "What are you doing here, Pisces? Why are you looking so sad?" And Pisces related the whole story. Now, this is what the old master began to relate to Pisces. He said, "Pay attention to what I'm going to say to you, son. You may think that your world is selfish. You may think that your world is unpleasant, is crude. But let me tell you, it's the same world that they are living in also. So what's the difference? The difference is the way they think, the way they see the world, and the way they live. Now, if you want to have a better world, you have better change the way you think, to change the way that you see the world, the way that you live." Pisces got the picture. Well, now we come back to progress is impossible without change. And those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. Perhaps you are sitting there thinking, "David, what are you talking about? This is a different era. The era that you were in was in the 60s, 70s. It's different. Today we're looking at 2020. Let me refresh you, Era may be different, but the world is the same world. The world then and the world today is the same. So perhaps you were just sitting there and you felt that everything is not working out and the world is not treating you right, and you don't have many things accomplished, and you feel that you're being left out. And that's exactly what this particular slogan says. Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their mind cannot change anything. I used to say in my seminar, I say man can change, man can grow, man can make progress, man can be who he wants to be and go wherever he wants to go. Now you can change, you can grow, you can make progress, you can be who you want to be and go wherever you want to go. But you have to begin with a change. I was that pigeon. I was Pisces. Adopted, inadequate. My self-esteem was zero. I didn't like the world that I was living in. I asked God, I questioned God, why did you bring me in the first place? Well, the answer came. A few years later, I picked up a book, and within the pages, I saw this particular slogan. It said, "Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their mind cannot change anything." You know who said that? Ogmandino. And with that, my world began to change, because I began to know that without that without that particular change, I will never account to anything. Now I know as you sit there, you begin to think, yeah, change. How am I going to change? Well, let me tell you something. The world is not going to bow down to you. The world is not going to feel sorry for you because this is your world. This is the same world that others are living in. So what you're going to do, the way you're going to do it is to start the way that you think, the way that you see the world that you're going to have, and the way that you live your life. It's all about being able to change. Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their mind cannot change anything. Let me paraphrase that. Progress is impossible without change. And those who cannot make up their mind to change cannot change anything. And if you want to make a change, then start being positive. The key word, being positive. And with that, I can assure you, your world will be a better world. Okay?